What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous line o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the and the home of the that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the and the home of the
Before the American Revolution, our founding fathers considered themselves slaves of the empire. And then Thomas Jefferson read John Locke. And he said that our freedom was not given us by the king. It was an unalienable right given us by God. It is irrevocable, non-transferable, and unsellable. Founders understood that, and this is why, at the end of the Declaration of Independence, they put, we pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. They said they would die before they'd be slaves. I won't just die before I be a slave. I'll kill before I be one. So all y'all out there to say you have no choice, what the founders showed you. It's Patrick Henry that said, give me liberty or give me death. And on that fateful night when George Washington had to cross the Delaware River in the ice and the snow, or the American Revolution would be lost, they said, General, what are the passwords? He said, victory or death. Either we're successful tonight or we all die. That's the idea of a free man. And I am a free man. So all you out there that believes that someone has to give you your freedom, you're admitting that you're a slave. If you come try to take my freedom away, God has given me the right to defend myself. And I got two things that'll get you off of me. That is Jesus and my 38. Slaves is a choice.
Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. Happy Sunday, you guys. Normally, I do not go live on a Sunday. Or at least, well, not never. It kind of just depends on what's going on with the family. But today, I actually had planned to go live to do a reaction video by a request of a former church member of mine and just a wonderful sister in the Lord asked me to do a reaction to Ben Shapiro's most recent, he did a podcast where he basically, he did a complete satire treatment. At least I'm assuming it is satire on Candace Owens. And I was in preparation to do that. And then I got a call from my dear friend, Jason Whitaker over at the J Witt podcast. If you are not familiar with the J Witt podcast, you are truly missing out. So Jason calls me and we start talking about this phrase that he absolutely hates. And it's the phrase he said, if I hear one more person utter the words, I'm confused, I'm going to go back crazy. And I'm like, Jason, what are you talking about? He goes, let me send you this video that I stumbled upon. And you guys, he sends me this video of this pair of sisters. I guess they're biological sisters who were kicked off of Spirit Airlines. Now, as y'all know, let's just have a moment of silence for Spirit Airlines. As you know, they've succumbed to an untimely demise. And many of us liked and appreciated Spirit Airlines because it was very cost effective, but it was hit or miss. You never knew if you needed to prepare to fight or what. So let's just get this out the way. Let's have a moment of silence for Spirit Airlines. Okay, now that we've gotten that out the way, I believe one of the reasons why, well, we know Spirit Airlines was unable to be bailed out of some financial issues they were having. But one thing I've noticed from an entrepreneurial perspective is the reputation that a business holds, it will undoubtedly follow you well long after you have, well before, like if you've ceased to exist, the reputation still precedes you. And so today, I thought it would be fun for us to react to some hood rat or ratchetang shenanigans. Why? Because it never gets old. Okay, the shenanigans never get old. But this one was unique. Now, in all full disclosure, y'all, I have not watched this body cam footage. I have not seen it. Now, I am told that there are some expletives. There's some profane language that is used. Listen, we are adults. This channel is not made for children. I am not advocating that you use this type of language, nor am I saying that it is acceptable to use this type of language, but I do want to give the language disclaimer in case there are sensitive ears in earshot, okay? I don't know how long it's going to last. I do not have the ability to hit the censor button. I'm just not that talented. So I just wanted to let y'all know that out the rip. But Spirit Airlines no longer exists. This is actually an older video that we're going to be reacting to today. But I want to do a blind reaction because one, I've never seen it, and I hear it is so wild and so crazy that I said, well, what the heck? Let's just do a blind reaction to it and see what happens. Now, the backstory of what happened here is that two sisters were kicked off the airline because they felt some sort of kind of way because they were unable to wear their underwear. And we're calling it underwear because essentially, I believe once they show what this chick was trying to get on the plane with, it was basically her drawers. And so this is why I put on the thumbnail panties on the plane. Okay, I wasn't trying to be nasty, but that's what I mean. These people, I've wondered for a long time who raised some of these people. I mean, we all have memas and great grandmas in them who were a stickler for wearing the proper undergarments, or at least I know my grandparents were. But we've come so far, and we're so far removed from the women of yesteryear that what we're about to watch just it's going to be a demonstration of how far, how just down to the bottom, like we in the pit, how far down we are. And I just wanted to react to it just because I have no idea how inflammatory this is going to be, but I am going to be here and join you guys for the ride. So let's go ahead. Let me first welcome everybody to the live stream. If you're watching us on YouTube or Rumble on X, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you were here. Over here, we like to laugh. I do like to cover high level, highbrow type content, but every now and again, sometimes you just got to laugh at the ignorance. You do. I believe we are going to watch an Ratchet crash out. And so let's go ahead and get started.
This is stupid. All y'all is stupid. Stupid racist bitches. That's what the fuck y'all is. And yeah, yelling and opening your mouth to us make you uneducated and unprofessional or disrespectful or everything. Stupid. Don't ever fucking fly with no cheap ass, low down, bogus ass spirit.
On July 16, 2025, deputies were dispatched to Miami International Airport after receiving reports that two women were causing a scene after being denied boarding.
So the passenger was told that she has to be like she's too revealing at that point. Spirit has a policy that.
All right, let me talk to him first. Talk to him.
All right,
Okay.
all right. First of all,
So we have a dress code policy.
now, how many conversations have we had about how we do not go out into the out with our pajamas on, or a bathrobe on, or slippers, or bonnets? I understand this is the bonnet brigade. I understand that. This gentleman right here, in the reflector outfit, apparently is an employee of Spirit, and the scene set up, from what I've gathered, is he's explaining to the police officer that Spirit has a policy, and she's gotten belligerent, and so they've denied boarding, and now she's showing her hotel. So it started out pretty wild. It was interesting hearing the ignorant talk about people being ignorant and disrespectful, and the lack of self-awareness here is astonishing. But let's continue.
At first, her robe was open, so we asked her to please cover up. Eventually, she got a little irate or like a little annoyed because we're telling her to cover up her bags. She already checked it in and everything, so at that point, she's already starting to get a little annoyed as it is, start arguing. Now she started saying this, that, and now her friend as well comes out of the plane, starts getting into it, like kind of instigating. So if it's gonna keep up like that, honestly, I don't mind getting them off the plane because that attitude, I can only imagine inside. So
At the moment, are they flying or no?
honestly, when it looks like it, I don't think so.
This lady right here, she needs to get off the plane, and she's refusing, and she just went inside the. Please, raise your son to be home.
Oh, mother.
I didn't do nothing to you. I got boarded on this plane. I got checked in, my bag on this plane. They asked me to bring her some pants because she couldn't get on.
Hey.
That's ridiculous. No, that's insane, Ma. I asked for a manager.
Hey, you're
Why is it always the individuals who are the proximate cause of the problem are the first ones to want to talk to a manager as if that's going to change the outcomes of their situation? So I'm assuming she is the travel companion of Shorty in the bathrobe and the slippers. Like I said, based on the context clues, it appears that the grimace in the pink bathrobe is probably the ones is probably the one that wants to wear the panties and was told she can't. And this is the travel companion that has to be super loud and super aggressive to let everybody in this breezeway know that, well, one, she's on the phone with her mama. Okay, what her mama's gonna do about this, we don't know. But the bags, the luggage has been checked. And her job is to get Grimace some clothing because they won't let her board the plane. But because of her belligerent behavior, now the gate agent is saying she can't get on the plane either. I'm curious to know, do these orangutans typically travel in packs? I mean, I'm just trying to understand, because usually if you've got that one friend in the group that's the orangutan and doesn't know how to act, and she gonna show out and act a fool, there's usually at least one friend that can at least try to talk some sense into her and to calm her down and to tell her, sis, it's not that serious, let's just go home. But this doesn't seem to be the case here. It seems to be that she is just as unruly and chaotic and ridiculous as the Grimace. But let's continue.
With me now. Let's go into the bridge.
But why do I have to get off if she boarded me on? I'm confused. My bag on this plane.
I'm asking you to step offside so we can talk outside.
Okay.
Okay, that's where Jason said he was confused. So I believe that's going to be a recurring theme. We're going to hear a lot is she's confused. They always confused. They lack comprehension and understanding. They never know what's going on. I don't know why. I don't know. Now, I speak fluent orangutan, but I'm going to have to, this needs to be studied. When I was talking to Jason, he was like, this behavior must be studied. I am sure that it might be some sort of profitable academic study that can analyze this pathology of this orangutan behavior. I don't know.
I'm about to say, if they don't bring me in that, I'm about to say, because ain't no way this is okay.
Hablando bien, como así, como diciendo.
Ma, I'm about.
Have a seat.
This is ridiculous. All my stuff on this plane. First of all, she boarded me on this plane, bro. She checked me in, and all you telling me because I had to bring somebody some pants I can't get home? That's crazy. That's crazy. I need to go home. This is crazy. I want to manage your days being.
Hey.
If that is not the most racist shit ever.
Wait a minute.
Flag on the plate.
Racist? See, this is, y'all, the sense of entitlement that we have been breeding for the past 15 years produces this. How did racism enter the chat? Like, how did we get here? Why is it that these individuals believe that the world revolves around them in such a way that, yes, ma'am, you were boarded on this plane. You are lawfully ticketed, and they gave you the green light to go. But what would make you think that we're about to hold up this whole flight just so you can go back and get your friend some clothes? Like, in what world would that ever be acceptable and okay? Your friend is experiencing the consequences of her retarded action. The idea that she thought she could get on the plane in her daggone panties. Like, when did women become so morally debased that we just decided to get dressed up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm about to put on some underwear, some booty shorts, or some boy shorts, and like both cheeks are gonna be hanging out, and I think I'm cute. Now, it don't matter if nobody else thinks I'm cute. I'm cute. But because I'm cute, I am going to get on a plane and be indecent and improperly dressed, and then get upset when I am denied entry. And then my equally retarded friend, who she technically didn't do nothing. She is right. She was given the permission to board the plane, but somewhere in her twisted mind, and whoever she's on the phone with has failed to help her to understand that, ma'am, unfortunately, your friend has chosen her outcomes. If you want to get on this plane and go, you're not going to be able to just leave I get it. We all supposed to stop what we doing so y'all can get y'all lives together. The orangutan, part of this pathology is a sense of entitlement, and it's a narcissism that we've not seen in previous generations. Like I said, I do believe this needs to be studied, but right now she's on the phone with her mama, and I don't know, maybe based on the context clues, I'm pretty sure her mama is not this much different. Why do I say that? Because if I called my mama, first of all, hollering and screaming like this, she'd be like, where in the heck are you? And I'm in the airport and they won't let me. My mother would have been like, first of all, I need you to get off my phone with all this hollering. And I know you are not showing your behind out in public like this. Like my mother would have been the one to calm me down and speak some sense into me and to help me realize that why are you acting like a banshee? What is wrong with you? But this mama is actually indulging and engaging in conversation with her. And then here it goes. The default position. This is racist. Am I to believe that when an airline decides to deny you entry and you can't board the plane, if you just so happen to be black, that your denial is done on the basis of your ethnicity, or is it because of your trash behavior? Because I don't believe that all black people act like this. Now she's building a very strong case for why some people would come to that conclusion. But how did racism get into this? We've used the word racism so much that I am convinced that it doesn't even mean anything. No one even can someone give me a working definition for it? Now I do believe racism is a social construct, but in this context, I don't even know how to define it because the way it's being used here is not the way it is customarily used in the context of partiality on the basis of someone's ethnicity. You are being discriminated against, but not because of your ethnicity. It's because of your trash behavior, just so we're clear.
This is the racist shit ever in my life.
We just trying to get home. I'm sorry, because I'm upset right now. Because they just made a big deal than what it was. I have been like this in my room. I have for 30 minutes we've been waiting here. I had my robe closed when I first came, but when we was getting up, I forgot to close my robe. So he goes and tell her that I can't board the plane because my shorts is too short. So I said, my bag is checked in already. I don't have anything to change into. He said, close the robe. I said, okay, fine. I closed my robe. Then he tells me, oh, you don't have your a seat on your thing. We got to find you a seat. I say, that's fine. Can you print my boarding pass? He goes, no, since you want to be rude and ignorant and all this and all that. So you want to be disrespectful to me, I could be disrespectful to you.
See, she missed the whole plot. Father. She missed the plot the moment she left wherever she was and put this on. Why do these young girls believe that this is an acceptable way to leave the house? Who started this trend? Who started this so we can go and punch them in the face? Because now we're here and now we have to teach, I would say a whole entire generation, but this isn't even generational. I've seen some Gen Xers leave the house and be in the street, in the grocery store, and like this. This is cross-generational. This is not a generational thing. This is a culture and worldview thing. She missed the plot the moment she left her house like this. And then it's obvious that even you know there's something wrong with it. Where did the robe come from? That's what I want to know. Like, how did the robe not make it into the luggage? I've never traveled and I said, you know what? Let me make sure I don't pack my robe because, I'm going to need it. I may have to take a shower in the airport and need my robe to dry off. Like, y'all, maybe I'm so far removed from hood life. Now, I grew up in the hood and I thought I spoke fluid hood, hoodinese. I thought I did. But this is new. When did this trend start to wearing pajamas in the out? And how is it that this bathrobe didn't make it inside the luggage with all the other checked stuff. Like, am I just asking too many logical questions? She couldn't have said, oh, I meant to grab my jacket, but instead I grabbed my bathrobe. Like, that didn't happen. Why are you in public with a bathrobe on? Operative word, bath robe. It implies that you're supposed to wear it in a bathroom or during some activity that's closely related to bath time. A shower, I'm in the house, I just got out the bath. I mean, I know some people lounge around the house in a bathrobe when they're sick, but I don't understand.
So yes, I did make a scene because they want to make a scene too.
Okay, there it goes. All right, so here's what I am assessing. You've got two individuals that have no self-control, no emotional regulation, a juvenile way of engaging with the world because she believes she was disrespected. She's going to be disrespected too. So if you hit me, I hit you. You disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. Notice though, this disrespect isn't rooted in reality. She doesn't even view the fact the way she left the house is disrespectful. Ma'am, your booty cheeks is out and you're dressed in a bathrobe holding a bottle of Pepsi. Like, it don't get no more cliche than this. And so she says, because they disrespected me, I went and disrespected them. As if that is a mature and healthy way to engage with other humans. First of all, like I said, it's not a valid argument because yes, you've paid your money, but it is a privilege for you to be able to fly. And there are terms and conditions that you are subject to. And one of them is don't be belligerent, right? Don't create an unsafe or hostile flying experience for everyone else. You're not the only person here. No one cares that you just felt motivated and inspired to wear your drawers on the plane, but you can't. I'm telling y'all, the moment they told her she couldn't, that's when she snapped and went off because she's in a ratchet tank. This is the female imbecile who cannot manage her misery, and therefore, what do, class? They show out. They're chaotic. They're belligerent. This is that.
But I didn't get in nobody's face. I didn't threaten nobody. But I'm just upset because this is close.
So what did they say at the end?
They keep telling me that, oh, I'm not flying. We're gonna make sure you don't fly. Okay. How? I don't live here. I'm going home.
Okay. So at the end of the day,
we need to add to the definition of an orangutan the illogical argumentation. Like, try to follow her the logic that she's expressing here. They said we're gonna make sure that you don't fly, and the next thing she says is, how? I'm trying to go home. Like, she's not understanding that, ma'am, nobody cares what your final destination is. We don't care if you're on your way to Disney World. You're not getting on this plane. And somehow she's like, well, what do you mean I'm not flying? Because I'm trying to go home. One has nothing to do with the other. You're not flying because of your wardrobe choice and then your inability to conduct yourself with any sort of grace or poise or self-respect by saying, okay, no, those two are incompatible. What I was going to say is that if she had responded differently, they may have let her on the plane, but there's no way she was capable of responding differently because people who respond differently don't come out the house looking like this. So there it is. This just flows from the imbecilic worldview and the mindset of how people like this think.
I don't know for what reason or whatever, but it's their airlines. They work for the airlines.
That's fine. If they're gonna reimburse me and pay for me a flight for another airline, that's fine.
Just hear me out. If they say you're not flying, you're not flying. I don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, I got to hear you, someone. I got to hear I'm talking to you. I'm getting your side of it. I'm not agreeing with it, disagreeing. I'm just letting you know how it is. It's like your house. This is their house. They make the rules. They say who comes in the door and who doesn't.
But everybody, my sister got on shorts. They didn't say anything about my shorts.
I'm not.
But I don't understand the problem. Like, this is like crazy. Because I sat up there, I watched them. The minute I got to the register, he came up in here and he told her to say something to me about my shorts.
How is it that you don't understand that? Y'all, she is so sincere. Bless her heart. And then now I'm moving from outrage to just downright pity at this point. Because this doesn't happen in a vacuum. This young lady does not appear to be that old. She is in her 20s. I don't believe she's close to 30. She's definitely in her 20s. How is it that you do not even understand? She goes, I don't understand why I can't get on the plane. My friend has on shorts too. Ma'am, like, there's levels to this. Now, granted, yes, your friend's shorts are short too, but they don't look like panties. Like, you have on like undergarments. Now, just because you choose to wear undergarments as outer garments, don't make them outer garments. She literally does not understand. She's like, I don't understand why I can't get on the plane. At first I thought it was a lack of self-awareness, but this literally comes from a lack of, no one has ever taught her these things. She really doesn't know. Either she knows and she's playing dumb, or she really doesn't know. She may not know. I don't know. Now, y'all know, for me to extend some grace, it got to be a really extreme circumstance. But this is also a pattern. So she immediately goes to making demands about what the airline is going to do. You are going to buy me a new plane ticket on another airline. Why? Now, I'm sure that they would pay you just to get out their face and to get some peace. But why is the assumption that she's owed that? Like, she forfeited whatever she purchased in order to gain access to this aircraft. She forfeited that the moment she decided to come out the house looking like a hooker in her drawers, or somebody who ran out the house because somebody yelled fire and there's flames coming out the roof and you have to exit. You just got to exit immediately. That's the only circumstance that this outfit would be acceptable to go anywhere. That's the only circumstance. It's a fire and you just had to run and leave with what you had on your back. I'm not convinced that there was some sort of urgency where she had to leave. This was purposeful. Like, the whole leaving the bathrobe out of the luggage, like, to her, this is part of the fit. This is part of the whole outfit. I got my bathrobe on and my booty shorts. It's come on.
I'm sitting here watching everybody walk past in their shorts. Okay. But when I get here, it's a problem. Like, this is things.
Yes, ma'am. Your shorts and they shorts are not the same kind of shorts. Oh, here come the tears. Here comes the lack of accountability tears. These are the tears that they tend to cry when they know they're wrong, but they because they've never been held accountable, and they absolutely, being held accountable is like one of the worst things that can happen to these types. So the tears are designed to elicit sympathy from this officer. And I just want to make a comment about this officer. Listen, law enforcement has gotten really, really soft these days. And I hate, to me, it's toxic empathy when a police officer has to be like, well, I'm really not trying to take sides, but this is their house and it's their rules. No, you are law enforcement. You should have been like, ma'am, it's a crime, basically, essentially, how you done left this house. And I understand why Spirit Airlines is telling you why you can't get on. The question that you need to answer for yourself is, why did you think it was okay to leave the house this way? And how is it that you didn't understand that what you had on would probably prohibit you from boarding an aircraft? Right? Like, story time. When I was in college, 18 years old at Spelman College, y'all, I moved down here from the Bronx, and being from the Bronx, nobody drives. Nobody has a driver's license. Everybody gets on a train or the bus. And so vehicles and driving was like all new. and exciting for me. And this was the summer of after my freshman year, my older sister came down with all of her kids to a Christian youth conference. And we were all at the Georgia Dome, like just having a good time. And one of my nieces was really, really cold. It was freezing inside the Georgia Dome. My sister assumed, since I had been living in the South, that I knew how to drive. So she goes, hey, can you run back to your apartment and go get, I don't want to say my niece's name, go get her jacket. So I'm sitting there like, now I'm 18, so I'm still stupid. Frontal lobe is not developed. I didn't have the courage to tell my sister, I can't drive. I don't have a driver's. I mean, I knew how to. I knew how to drive, but I didn't have a driver's license. But I use this as an opportunity. Oh, you want me to go back to the house and get something and drive? No problem. I lived right down the street from the Georgia Dome. I was like, yes, this is an opportunity for me to get behind the wheel. It's literally right down the street, around the corner, no big deal. I was like, sure, I'll go. Well, me and my other niece, who's 3 years younger than me, she know I don't have no driver's license too. So she's just being young and dumb and stupid and following her aunt, who's ain't but 3 years older than her. We get in the car and we're excited. I'm driving down Northside Drive because I live the opposite way on Northside Drive. And I decide, well, shoot, I got to turn around. And I didn't feel like going up to the light to turn around. So I bang a U-turn on Northside Drive. Why did I do that? Soon as I make that U-turn, here come the blue lights and the siren. I said, oh, Jesus, we going to jail. I'm freaking out. I'm like, we're going to jail. We're going to jail. I was like, I don't have a driver's license. My niece starts panicking, hyperventilating. I thought the girl was going to throw up. I was like, I need you to calm down. So we pull over. Police pulls us over. He's like, license and registration, please. And I'm giving him this look like I'm going to jail. I said, officer, I said, I have identification, but I don't have a driver's license. And he looks at me and he's looking in the car. Mind you, we driving a Ford Taurus station wagon, okay? So it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It was my mama's car. He's looking at me and he goes, there's a moral to this story. And the reason why I'm telling it, the differences in how police today. So immediately I start crying because I know I'm in trouble. I know I've broken the law and I am in trouble and I'm supposed to go to jail. So I start crying. He's like, how old are you? I'm 18. I was like, sir, I'm a freshman over at Spelman College. And I'm from, because he's like, these are out-of-state tags. Whose car is this? I was like, this is my mama's car. I'm from New York. And I had my niece in the car. And I said, we see all the people at the Georgia Dome. It's the Jesus conference because, you know, we love Jesus and stuff. And my sister, my big sister, she like way, way older than me. And she got all these kids and the baby is sick and she cold. And she just told me to go get the story morphed from go get the sweater to I got to get the sweater and her medicine. Because if I don't get her medicine, she gonna pass out and die. I mean, the story just took on a life of its own, you guys. This officer stood there and lectured me and let into me. I promise y'all, I felt like it was hours. And it was like 30 minutes. This man told me of how stupid I was, how unwise it was, how dangerous it was, how disappointed my mama would be, how Spelman women don't act like this. You joyriding, ain't you? I mean, he let into me like he was my daddy and he just piled it on and it made it worse. I started crying and I started crying and snotting so hard, y'all, I thought I was going to throw up. My niece Shannon she going in, I'm going in. He was like, get out the car. I was like, no, I can't go to jail. He was like, get out the car. He makes me get out the car, puts me in the back of his squad car, and he made me sit there for another 30 minutes. Y'all, it's hot. It's summer. It's like August. I'm sweating. I probably done lost about 5 pounds. I'm crying so hard. Y'all know the hard cry where you can't get your words out anymore because you doing. That's how bad it was. He let me sit there for 30 minutes. Finally, he comes back and he goes, do you know what I'm supposed to do in this circumstance? And I'm like, no, sir. He said, I'm supposed to impound this car and I'm supposed to take you to jail. My whole life flashed before my eyes because my sister has driven down here from New York with all her kids. I'm like, how's she gonna get back? My mama gonna be like, where's my car? How I'm gonna get my it was just a disaster. He's like, that's what I'm supposed to do. And he said, but you know what? He said, you strike me as somebody that's being real stupid right now, but your story sounds plausible because I do know that there is a conference, a youth conference going on at the Georgia Dome right now. And you made that U-turn on Northside Drive. I see based on your student ID and where you say you live, you literally do live right around the corner and down the street. Why are you in this car with no license? And I explained to him, being from New York, my sister assumed that I had a driver's license and I didn't think it was going to be a big deal because it's just down the street, around the corner. I said, we was literally going there and coming back. He goes, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. He said, because I'm supposed to take you to jail. He just kept reminding me about the jail. I was like, God, I can't go to jail. I can't. I was about maybe I was maybe 105 pounds. I was like, I can't go to jail. He goes, here's what I'm going to do. You have 30 days to get a driver's license. Here is your court date. He said, you better show up to court because I'm going to be there. And he said, if you come to court with your driver's license, I will tell the judge to drop these charges. He said, if you don't show up or you show up to court with an excuse as to why you still don't have a driver's license, it's going to be a whole problem. I was like, I promise I'll get my driver's license. Let me tell y'all something. I had my driver's license in a week. I was working at the JW Marriott at the time. I told my manager, I said, listen, I need you to take me to get my driver's test or I'm going to go to jail. She was like, what? I was like, look, I'll explain, but this is an emergency. And this is how I got my driver's license, okay? Here's the point. This police officer, they're missing these opportunities. It is obvious these young people ain't got good sense. And to me, this stems more from how these young people were raised. This girl doesn't even understand what the problem is as to why her shorts and everybody else's shorts are not the same kind of shorts. She does not understand the immodest apparel, the inappropriate nature of the fact that you don't wear underclothes as outer garments, and why are you in an airport with a bathrobe on? Is there a shower stall that you're rushing to get to? No. So, lady, what are we doing here? This officer, in my opinion, I know that was a long story. We're going to get back to the video. The officers that I've noticed, they're so weak and afraid of being offensive that they are missing out on key opportunities to really, not all officers, I'm talking about this one, to really make a difference in it. That officer still, y'all, I'm still scared of him to this day. If I saw him, I'm probably going to start crying. He put the fear of God in me. That man was going to haul me off to jail, impound my mama's car. He started telling me of how expensive it was going to cost, where she was going to have to go to pick it up. And in my mind, I was like, one wrong move has created this snowball of other situations and circumstances that I don't even know how I'm going to be able to get out of. Police officers, believe it or not, know it is not their job to parent, but they are a figure of authority. And they can use and wield their authority in such a way that it really can make a difference. And I know I'm not the only one that has a story about a police officer, even in a bad situation, how the officer changed their life because they just took the time to just speak to the reality of the situation and to speak some wisdom. Like, this young girl needed wisdom because now the tears are about to start flowing. And placating her, and I understand she already acting a fool and she's showing out, and these are the types that sometimes you got to put them down with a taser because they rabid. But he still could have, there's more than one way to de-escalate a situation. I know she's on 10, and some people might say, well, maybe he didn't want to trigger her a little more. I would have used it as an opportunity to be like, you know what, this gonna be the last time you leave the house in a bathrobe, isn't it? Do you know why it's going to be your last time? because this is inappropriate. This is inappropriate clothing selection for anywhere, especially an airline. And they're not obligated to let you get on. And here's why your shorts don't look like their shorts, right? Like, turn around and let's examine the difference here, lady. Let's continue.
I understand what you're saying. Okay? I don't know what their issue is. I don't know if that's their issue or if they have another issue. Or,
I'm just trying to get all over.
But at the end of the day, they're the ones that make the decision. So if they say you're not flying, you're not flying. Now, if they say you're not flying, I'm going to assume they're going to reimburse your money. But, again, I don't work for the airlines.
As long as I get home, I don't have to fly with them.
So,
I don't care.
if they don't let you board,
I don't care.
the thing is, we're going to have to get you on another flight. And
If they're going to pay for it,
well,
then that's fine.
again, I don't know how that
Or I
works.
want my money or whatever it is.
All right, so let's see what they tell that other officer, and then we'll see what's going on, okay?
This is just like ignorant. I just never seen somebody just so ignorant. This is why nobody flies Spirit, because they ghetto.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Did she say this is so ignorant? I've never seen something so ignorant, and this is why nobody flies Spirit, because they ghetto. You can't make this up. You can't.
Flag on the plate.
You cannot make this up. Does she not understand or realize that she is one of the main contributors to making Spirit ghetto? Lady, you got on a pink bathrobe, like a terry cloth bathrobe. Like, it can't even be misconstrued as a trench coat or an Afghan or no. It's a bathrobe. She probably got on slippers too. I guarantee she got slippers on her feet. Like, she just rolled up out of bed and said, you know what? Today would be a good day to travel. Yeah. Then I'm just going to go take a trip in my drawers and my bathrobe. What else are we supposed to think? The lack of self-awareness. Listen, I've been saying that some of y'all was raised wrong, but I don't think parents realize how many gaps in knowledge and in social cues and social graces that some of our young people just don't have. Maybe our generation, we learned these things by observation. This generation is different. You literally have to explain it and dumb it down for them and say, you cannot wear underwear and a bathrobe out in public. Like, you have to say it, because if you don't, they'll just assume that it's acceptable and then be crying in the airport calling Spirit ghetto. The nerve. Listen, I'm offended for Spirit, because I'm like, you know what? It's us giving a pass to the ghetto people like you that gave us this reputation to begin with. That's the problem. See, you can't help nobody. Every time they try to help, look what happened.
What seat is she on?
37D, is it?
Do you have a carry-on? Okay.
I don't understand why I cannot board a flight when they told me to bring this girl to pants. I swear.
What bag is it that you have in 37D?
What bag do you have on 37D?
I don't understand why I'm not boarding my flight.
Okay, we're gonna, Jessica, you need to calm down and we're gonna explain it to you.
What
color is your bag? What color is your bag on 37D? Jessica, I'm asking you a question.
This is why she can't get on the flight. How she don't understand this, I don't know. Jessica, you're not getting on the flight because of your belligerent attitude and your behavior. You're being uncooperative. You're yelling. You're being loud on the phone, thinking that we're going to hold up this whole flight so you can go get your girlfriend in the drawers, get her some pants. This is why you ain't getting on the flight. She's just, I think she's still talking to the mama. How is it that these young people, that new crop of ratchet things, the female imbecile, this is the most imbecilic behavior. They're trying to tell her, calm down. And they're asking her a direct question, and she's refusing to answer. And then the next breath, I don't understand why they won't let me on this flight. You can't make this stuff up.
I boarded on the flight, so I need to go home. I need to get on the flight.
Jessica, what color is your carry-on? If not, it's gonna leave without you.
And if my bag leave without me, y'all gonna have a hard ass time.
Then go ahead. What do you have?
Get out my face until she bring me a manager.
No.
It's a pink bag.
Listen,
I
it's a
need
pink
a
bag.
manager.
Go get the pink bag.
I don't understand why I can't get a manager. Y'all are telling me I can't go home for them telling me bring her some pants. Like, I hate this. If this ain't the most racist, I don't have no flights on this plane ass shit. This is what I get for about a $28 ass flight.
Oh, yeah, therein lies the problem. Spirit, now, I know this is a post-mortem as to what happened with your business model and why you are no longer one of the low-cost airlines anymore. But $28, if her ticket was indeed $28, this explains the problem. This explains it. You literally are appealing to this demographic who they don't know how to act when they come into the out. She's not connecting her behavior with why she can't get on the flight and the constant yelling. People are trying to board. She's making demands. I need to see a manager. Ma'am, what makes you think the arrival of a manager is going to change your outcome? You tell me, since I'm black and slow, what is the manager supposed to do now? Are you going to calm down when the manager get there like somebody with authority? It is clear and obvious you have no respect for authority at all. So another layer of authority is not going to change this outcome at all. But she's yelling, making demands. So they're going to pay for my flight. And then here come the racism enters the chat. Ugh, Lord. Let me grab this. I see two super chats. Let me grab these. Thank you so much for this super chat, Jade. Jada says, as a young black woman, it is disheartening to see my peers embarrass themselves in public. My mother taught never to leave home less than presentable. Bring back shame. P.S. Love the channel. Jada, listen. This is someone with some sense. I agree. We do need to bring shame back. But somewhere along the line, we started placating to people, their feelings, and validating every feeling and emotion as valid, as opposed to saying, no, this is the standard for what's right and proper. What you, on the other hand, are doing doesn't fit in that neat little box of right and proper. You're on the outskirts of that, so we're going to shame you. Lowering the standards, lowering the bar is how you get behavior like this to be normal and commonplace. That's how you get that. But thank you so much for the super chat. Sister Amethyst. She said, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm scratching my head. Mosquito just bit me, like literally while I was on the live stream. You were so disrespectful. April was scared straight. What a show. Listen, I was. I ended up telling my mother that story probably like 3 or 5 years after the fact. And no, this is why I ended up having to confess. I ended up having to confess because when my mother got her car back, the part I didn't tell y'all, when he let us go, I was so shaken up that I had to pull over into a parking lot to gather myself together and to calm down. And when me and my niece gathered ourselves together to calm down, I backed up and I hit a pole. You know, when you park, they have the poles. No, I meant to back up. I was supposed to be backing up. I pulled forward and I hit the pole, and it wasn't a major dent. It was a small dent in the front. And when my sister got back to New York, my mother's trying to figure out how she get that dent in her car. And my sister, we need to tell my sister what happened. She was like, why were y'all gone for so long? I was like, ooh, girl, that traffic on Northside Drive and trying to get out of here was a lot. We ended up confessing to my sister because I had to end up confessing to how the dent got into the car. And my sister was like, wait, you didn't have a driver's license? I said, I have one now. Like, why are we even discussing this? That's the past. I have a license now. That's all that matters. She was like, you mean to tell me? And then my mom was yelling at her, and she's like, I thought the girl had a license. She been down here all this time. Who doesn't have a license down here? It was just a mess. Yes, I was scared straight. Absolutely. Shout out to the J Wit podcast. Jason said, may Victoria's Secret remain a secret on display. Y'all, we are halfway through. I've never seen this before. Y'all can thank Jason for this. I had something way more intellectual, way more transformative to talk about tonight, but Jason sent me this ignorant mess, and I said, yes, I'm going to lower myself down to the ignorant level, and we are going to, this is what we're doing tonight. So y'all can thank him. This is his fault. But anyway, let us continue.
Then just pay $70 to get this bag on the flight. You tell me I can't get on? Thank you.
Who's she on the phone with? One of her friends or something?
No, I'm on the phone with y'all, with everybody boss up there. That's who I'm on the phone with. I'm trying to talk to somebody that can get me past her. Because ain't no way she should be able to do that. That's ridiculous.
Right there.
And nobody gonna tell me this how a flight operates.
They need anything more from them?
I got on shorts too. Why was I able to get on?
Yeah, the carrier is
So
coming
is
out.
somebody booking us another flight? I'm confused because I'm not paying $300 or my flight was $300 in total. So is somebody booking me a flight home because I had a round trip? Because this is insane. Because I don't have no money to get home. I don't have no way to change no flight.
Jessica, are you
She not finna kick me out. No, because nobody's seeing us. Y'all ain't asked me what happened. Y'all just sitting here listening to this lady and she was disrespectful first. I didn't do nothing to her. Yes, of course somebody gonna snap and be mad now.
No, ain't no yes, of course. No, speak for yourself. Those of us with conflict resolution skills and, just public decorum and decency, we don't engage with humans that we don't know like this. Like, this could have easily been resolved. Like, if you had home training, what you're supposed to do is be like, you know how your mama told you, look, I don't care what your little friends are doing. You make sure you get your behind and be where you're supposed to be. Yeah. So what you were supposed to do is whisper to your friend and say, now, Grimace, it looks like they not letting you on this plane. You already know I'm broke and ain't got no money. So, I mean, I ain't gonna show out. If they allow me to get you your pants, I will get you some pants. But other than that, that's all I can do. But I'm gonna have to get on this plane. Yeah, but her engaging and yelling, and it's just the high octane, orangutan behavior. All it does is beget more strife. Notice how no one is being hostile toward her. She over here by herself crashing out. There's no one else. All of these officers in the brown are just standing there like we don't engage. They've unsubscribed. Everyone is calm. No one has yelled at her. Everyone is just trying to wait for the crash out for her to just run out of gas. Now, if it were me, I'd have been like, yeah, we're not about to sit here and let you throw this temper tantrum. What we're about to do is put you in handcuffs and escort you out of this corridor because people are trying to get in to board the plane. You are loud. This is too much. There's got to be a special place in the airport to go and deal with this away from this. Because to me, this impacts employee morale. It creates a very tense, high stress environment for them. They're already stressed. Gate agents are under a lot of stress. People are constantly coming up to the counter asking dumb, redundant questions. They don't ever have their boarding pass. The little scanner thing don't work. If something's going to be delayed, they are the front line of defense that has to deal with hostility, whether it's their fault or not. So to have her still here, crashing out like this where everybody can hear, I'd be like, yeah, we just need to move her somewhere else. If we got to drag her or tase her to do it. I'm one of those, I don't give a darn. You gave up your rights. The moment you start showing out like this and disorderly conduct, no. We're not going to sit here and wait for you to sit on hold with the 1-800 number and talk to Habib in India or customer service who claim he going to get you a manager. No, we're not doing that. hang up the phone. You're going to hang up the phone, and we're going to explain to you how this is going to go. But notice how all they do is make demands. They going to buy me a plane because they broke. She ain't got no money. Wherever they went or coming back from, they probably ain't have the money to get there to begin with. So this whole concept of y'all better buy me a plane ticket, that's coming from the scarcity. They really don't have it. So the crash out and a lot of this aggression, it's really the anxiety of not realizing I don't know how I'm gonna get home because of my dumb choices and decisions that led me here. I got on drawers and a bathrobe. Now they telling me I can't get home. I don't know the way this works. I don't understand the process. So the anxiety of all of that is what's fueling the crash out. It really is.
Because y'all just kicked me off a flight like I don't have to be home. I got work. I got everything else under the sun. See? So don't tell me about just yelling. That's not a crime. Yelling is, you haven't
But you yelling, it's not going to get anywhere.
You haven't.
You're yelling.
Nobody's did that. I want to talk to everybody about it. Nobody's did that. Nobody's asked us what's going on.
Jessica,
y'all took this lady word for it.
How can we ask you? Look how you're acting.
Because why wouldn't I be mad? Are y'all not understanding?
Calm down.
Like, I don't live in
Jessica, calm down. I'm not yelling at you. Calm down.
Well, she was yelling at me.
This is why I call it, look, right there. Okay, so what's going on here? This is jigaboo jargon that she's speaking here. It's irrational. It's an illogical stream of consciousness where she's just going. And she's just going. She hasn't figured out that these people are trying to help her. That these people are telling her, if you just calm down and relax, maybe we can get to some sort of resolution. But the orangutan, aka the female imbecile who can't manage your misery, this is the only language they speak. They watch their mamas crash out like this with the baby daddy and them. They see the mama crash out like this at school when they had to call the mama up there to be like, she done skipped school 5 days out of the past 2 weeks, and the mama, I just don't understand. I sent her up here, and I just don't understand. And you just gotta deal with all of the theatrics. Y'all, that made me hot. Hold on. See, I'm too old for all of this. All of that just worked me up into a frenzy. And now I'm sweating. Ain't no way. Listen, I gotta manage cortisol. I gotta be calm. I can't. It's doing too much to me hormonally to be this way. So I can't imagine the fight or flight that this. Honey, this gonna aid you. She needs you. Hold on, y'all. I gotta chill. I need to chill because she got me on 10 just trying to reenact her crash out. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that was a lot.
But
calm down. Jessica. You're not getting.
I don't care.
You don't
Talking is not a crime. Talking not a crime. I can feel how I want. Talking not a crime.
Huh?
Do you want us to explain to you what's going on?
No, I'm about to start recording because I want that lady badge number. I need everything from her. That is disrespectful and racist as hell.
Grace Point said, y'all know somebody flew her out. Nephew, oh, he probably right. Somebody else probably paid for that ticket. She ain't got it. Somebody flew her out, and she don't have the money. They probably spend it on lemon pepper wings and Moscato. They don't have no more left. That's like the hood rat orangutan starter pack. Lemon pepper wings and some Moscato. Oh, is this ignorant Sunday or what? Oh, I'm on one today. Let me focus. See, this is why I don't be reading the chat, because y'all go start and y'all get me started, and then, okay. I saw someone say that that's fear talking. It is. But multiple officers have tried to say, would you like us to explain to you what's going on? And she can't even calm down long enough to hear that. She's just like, no, I want her badge number. Lady, none of that is going to get you any closer to a resolution. I am so concerned by the lack of emotional regulation, and y'all ain't gonna like this. Y'all not gonna like this. But I am telling you, I really do believe a lot of the lack of emotional regulation, it comes from too many in this generation have an imbalance. It's too much matriarchal squalor. There isn't a strong patriarchal influence to balance out the matriarchy, because usually in a two-parent home, you got the mama and you got the daddy. And usually, who is the one to bring order and calm it all down and get everybody in their separate corners and just to be reasonable and logical? Usually, that's the father. Now, unless he an alcoholic and he the cause of the drama, but y'all know what I'm saying. And I'm speaking in generalities. I ain't talking about your daddy who was we know your daddy wasn't worth a darn, but everybody's daddy, that's not the case. Okay, let's deal in the margins, not the outliers. Usually in a healthy two-parent household, particularly when there are girls involved. So like, for example, in our family, I got 2 boys and 2 girls. There's a mama and a daddy. So it's 3-3. When my girls, I'm just thank you, Holy Ghost. Just thank you. I am still here today, and they are still in the land of the living because they have a father who can just come in and be like, first of all, what we not going to do? You need to pipe it down. Nobody even knows what you're saying because the high pitch, like we can't even understand. We can't understand you. Quit your yelling, calm down, slowly explain to me what is happening. And usually by the time he gets to the bottom of it, he was like, this is silly, this is stupid. Go apologize. Like, and it's your fault. This is your fault. Children need the balance of the mom and the father. And if you think about 3 generations of bastards raising bastards, nothing but women around, 4 generations of you got great grandma and grandma, and then all the aunties, and they're all importing this toxic worldview that is heavily resistant to authority or correction or any sort of restraint or self-control. This is what you get. And y'all don't have to like it. You could just say, no, I don't think that's a fair assessment. Okay, well, then you explain it to me. Because there seems to be a direct correlation to these fatherless homes and this chaotic behavior. Where is the lie? Young girls who tend to have the healthy balance of the mom and the dad in their life, they don't act like this. They just don't. You might say that's anecdotal. Well, it's my assessment. It's my assessment.
You come to look for somebody. Oh, they came to get that bag?
Yes.
Okay.
I need the badge.
Okay. Did he get the bag? He got him now.
I hope so.
I think he just got him now. It took a while to look for it.
That's the only badge she has.
Oh, where do you go?
Okay. That's the only one she has, right?
Yeah.
Wait. Turn it over. Make sure it's closed so nothing comes out.
Yeah, so that she comes out and it kind of like almost instigating the situation as it is.
It is what it is.
Hurling a lot of profanity as it is. So
It is what it is. Everybody's boarded. You guys ready to go?
Yeah, she ain't getting on that plane. So they've gone and gotten the bag. So the reason why she's not getting on the plane is because she instigated it and she equally acted a fool. But to be fair, we've seen her act a fool more than Grimace with the panties on. Unless this is the footage that we're seeing. Her instigating it, inserting herself into something that did not concern her. There's that busybody, that matriarchal foolishness. Instead of her saying, this ain't even my fight. She could have easily went, got the bag, pulled out whatever her friend needed, gave it to her, said, I'm about to go on and sit down. But look at this long production of how long it has held up this flight. Like everybody else on that plane don't have somewhere to be. They have held up this entire flight because of their behavior. And she doesn't see this is why she's not flying. It's never them. It's always everybody else's fault. I got on shorts and she got on shorts. I don't understand why she can't get on the plane. This is racist. I want the badge number. It's everybody else. It's never, could I have responded differently in this situation so we wouldn't be here? It can't be that.
Go, I'm waiting on my bag. Are you the manager?
Your bag is right here. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, I still need to speak to
You
a
got your
manager.
bag. She's a manager. We're going.
Okay, so I'm asking to speak to her. I don't understand this. I need everybody's name here.
We're coming.
Why am I not getting the flight?
Can we?
Back up.
Okay, but can we get their names though?
We are. I'm going to have all their names.
No, obviously no.
I'm gonna have.
They feel like we're wrong because we yelling. Yelling like you so.
Come on, this way.
The manager's gonna come talk with you, okay?
Keep going.
Keep
going. We're gonna get everybody.
Like y'all somebody. Mama, stop.
Keep going. This way, Jessica. Jessica, we're going this way.
Where are you taking me? Because I don't have no hotel to go to or nothing of the sort, so I'm confused.
We're going this way. We're going to.
This is the part that Jason hates, y'all. I'm confused. She's not confused. She's belligerent, but she's not confused. I saw a very interesting comment that there's probably a whole lot of validity to it. Quentin says her neurological synaptic connections are still hardwired for fight or flight. She's reliving former trauma that hardwired these networks in her brain. So anytime someone triggers her, she returns. Listen, that might be true, Quentin, but listen, the world is not equipped to track everyone's neurological synaptic connections of being and how they are wired. A well-ordered society, and I agree with you, this could be some trauma. I'm one of those Occam's razors kind of people. Like the most logical explanation is usually the right one. This is just hood rat behavior. This is how they settle everything. Everything is, I gotta pop off, I gotta act a fool, draw attention to myself. The louder I get, the more effective I believe I'm being. You might be right. There are some clues in her behavior that would lead us to believe that she's reliving former trauma. That's possible. This could be fear talking, fear of the unknown. Where am I going to go? How am I going to get home? I don't have no money. I got flued out and now I'm here. Like all of those things are probably true. But the question is, this should not have triggered her. She wasn't the one that was being detained from boarding. She was simply the friend that was charged with the task of go get the bag and get your girlfriend some pants because she got on some drawers. I hear you, and I'm not saying that your explanation doesn't have any validity, but this is how we got here because we tried to, come up with some sort of psychological explanation to maybe explain away this behavior. And this is where the restorative justice comes from. This is the, show us where on the doll where him hurt you. Like, I'm not babying people like this. You either learn how to act or we're going to handle you accordingly. You look at this public disturbance. I travel a lot, and Lord, by God's grace, I have not encountered a situation on a plane that kept us from taking off because of somebody's retarded behavior. Because I'm telling you, the Lord must know that is not the situation for me to be in, because it's not going, Because see, all it's going to take is for me to be on board with one of these orangutans, and I'm going to tell the captain, I'm like, look here, you don't know me. I'm so grateful for what you do, but can I just borrow that microphone for 1 minute? Just, I won't, it won't be long. I won't use no profane language. I just need the mic for 1 minute, please. Now, if you say no, I'm going to go sit down. If I'm out of order, okay, I'm going to go sit down. But if you give it to me, we going to resolve this. We going to resolve it. I promise you. But we ain't placating to these orangutans because I want to go home, okay? I believe us trying to provide these people with an out by saying, oh, it's the mental health, and it's the bipolar, and they just they get triggered, and whenever something triggers them, because you don't know what the trigger is, how about the trigger is anytime they are expected to comply? Why is that always the trigger? Anytime that they are expected to conduct themselves like the rest of the population, that's a trigger. Because to me, I'm not saying what you're saying has no validity to it whatsoever. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. But I just believe that the triggers are subjective, right? Because what if thunder is one of the things, or lightning, that trigger people like this? So now every time it's a thunderstorm, we got to watch her crash out because, that one time in band camp, it was a really bad storm. And it just takes her back to that place and time, and it was chaotic and everybody was scared and running, and so she just reverts back to that. Yeah, no. It may be a plausible explanation, and I'm not saying you're using that as an excuse. Perhaps you're saying this could be an explanation to explain her behavior. Well, I can see that being abused. And instead of people saying, look, it's not a justification, it's just an explanation, that can be used as a justification. And then the triggers are subjective. Anytime I have gluten, it makes me pop off. Anytime I have cow's milk, it makes me pop off. Anytime I'm sensitive to the lights, and when they blink 3 times, it makes me pop off. I'm like, when does it end? When are we just going to acknowledge that the female imbecile who can't manage her misery finds it necessary, and we've given them a platform and an outlet to act a fool like this because nobody is willing enough, brave enough to step in and restrain this foolishness? Like, I'm not about to sit here and be your social worker. We cannot sit here in this the loading area of the plane and talk you through your trauma. Cause you want to know the truth? Most people don't care. They're like, I don't care. I want to go home too. What makes these people believe that they can be the center of the universe and that the world has to stop to cater to them at the expense of everybody else? That's how we end up getting here. Giving these people all of the excuses in the world to explain away their bad behavior that they initiate. Like, how she got here is her fault. How her friend showed up to the airport, like I said, unless she was running out of a burning house, this is her fault. Just something to think about.
Discuss it. I'm gonna give you all their names, all their information.
I ain't giving you nothing.
Y'all can literally just put us on the plane and went about y'all way. None of this even happened. Y'all want to be on a power trip. Like the racist ass.
And your information and the client. Because we don't want to get thrown in there right from nothing. They have to try to
y'all don't want to. I promise.
Okay. But you're going to explain to them in reference to when they get there.
I don't want to hear shit about my flight and my motherfucking luggage back to Chicago. Apparently all we got to do is call AOG like we going to be able to get a flight right now.
And I
don't see nobody paying for a hotel and shit.
You see? Okay. Oh God, this mosquito. Oh, that was disrespectful. It bit me. Oh, that hurt. They're just talking. You hear all this talking they're doing? They're doing this because there have been no consequences enacted. Because at some point, these police officers should be like, listen, you got one more time to start hollering before we just gonna put you in handcuffs and we just gonna isolate you till you calm down. But they're ignoring it, and there are no consequences. I believe if they would enact some consequences, that would limit these types of expressions. If people knew when you come to the airport, if you show your tail like this is the procedure of what they do to you, people would stop. People would stop. Just like they from Chicago. We would have less teen takeovers if the teens involved in the teen takeovers knew that there are consequences to that kind of behavior. But when there are no consequences, you just basically are inviting this behavior. And it's almost like they are provoking you to wrath. They're like, come on, I wish you know what I'm saying? I want you to do something. They're just going to keep pushing and keep egging you on until something ends up happening. And then they cry the victim. There needs to be consequences to this behavior. And the reason why they still act like this, because there are no consequences.
I want my money back in my account. I need y'all ass to book me shit. No, I want to fight this. I don't want no money back in my account. I want to fight this.
Okay. She don't want no money. The other one, the little yellow one, she don't want no money back in her bank account. Her account negative. It's it's overdrawn. So if they put the money back in her account, not that I've ever seen that happen or that they would, it's gonna eat it up. So she she don't. I don't know. I don't know that to be true. I know ghetto. Okay, I know hood rat shenanigans, but it's the demanding for me. It's the I want a ticket and I want it now and I want the money back in my bank account and no, I don't want the money back in my bank account, and they're just going back and forth. And this lady, bless her heart, she's just like, unsubscribe, do not engage, unsubscribe.
Are you going to let her explain to you now what's going on, or you're going to keep yelling? Okay, she's a manager that you requested, so she's the one that you need to speak with.
Okay,
You keep yelling. You keep yelling. Listen, calm down. You're still yelling. If you're going to continue behaving this way, you're not going to get anywhere.
We don't have to be quiet, you know.
But let her.
I fly home. I can't work with all type of shit. For some shorts. Are you kidding me? For some shorts.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. I'm upset.
Okay.
I swear to God, y'all don't want to.
She didn't even open her mouth to say, excuse me, man. How can I help you?
Nothing.
Where's your professional?
Y'all customer service. This is stupid. All y'all ass stupid. Stupid racist. That's what the y'all is.
And yeah, yelling and opening your mouth to us make you uneducated and unprofessional or disrespectful or everything else.
Don't ever fly with no cheap ass, low down, bogus ass spirit.
Either one of you, come over here so she can talk to you.
How about she come walk over here and talk to me?
You come to the counter. She's not coming around.
Man, she could have been walked her ass over here talking to somebody.
I can't call no 800 number. I just need a flight book. Can you just book me a flight? I can't call no 800 number and sit in the airport.
Let her speak now. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. We've got a 34. For the issue you haven't already the boarding process, we tried to fill it out and give it a chance to cover you.
Nobody tried that with me.
That's why we asked
Nobody tried that with me.
explain about the airline policy, about the dress code we had.
That's why I brought her the pants.
Now we have the next level option with you because unfortunately we had to call the airport, as you can see. So now it's not going to be able to be able to experience another flight. So
Okay, so who is booking our flight then? Because I can't. No, I cannot. You mean to tell me that I'm about to get you? So what the? What helping me do? What did I just come here to talk to you for? Why did I just come here to talk to you? You just told me I have to do all this shit myself. I don't have no money to book a flight. I don't have no money to go to a fucking hotel. This is insane. You just told me I have to.
First of all, y'all the ones that kicked us off the flight for a pair of shorts. So y'all need to buy us another flight home. We don't stay here. Ain't no more spending our money. We could have got on our flight.
Wait a minute. Did y'all hear the illogical argumentation? Y'all kicked us off the flight because of some shorts. So so y'all need to buy us another flight.
Flag on the plate.
Y'all, We ain't gonna make it. We not gonna make it like this. These are our future. These are they're adults. This is our future. We're not gonna make it. This woman has failed to understand. She has missed it. She doesn't understand. The lady explained to her the dress code. She's not engaged with what this lady has said in any meaningful way about, we have a dress code. When you book your ticket, right, in exchange for the consideration you gave us, the money in exchange for the ticket, there are terms and conditions that you have to abide by. One of those meaning there's a code of conduct and the dress code. It ain't even the bathrobe. That ain't even the problem. It should be, in my opinion, but it's not the problem. It's what's under the bathrobe. She got on basically some panties, and her friend, who was able to board the flight with no incident, was commissioned with the responsibility to go on the plane and get the friend a pair of pants. But because the little yellow girl, the little light-skinned chick, she couldn't control herself and manage her temper or her emotions and just go on the plane, get the bag, pull out the pants and give them to her because she had to act a fool. That is when Spirit was like, yeah, and you ain't getting on the plane either because you're belligerent. You're out of control. You're being chaotic. You're being disruptive. So you can't get on a plane. So neither one of them are allowed to get on the plane for different reasons. One is a dress code violation and one is a code of conduct violation. Neither one of these young women recognize that it is their behavior and their decisions and actions, which is why they're not getting on this plane. But they are demanding that Spirit buy them another ticket. No. You violated the terms and conditions of boarding this flight. You forfeited your flight privilege. This plane is taking off without you. And it is not our problem or our responsibility to figure out how you're going to get home. You have to book your own travel arrangements to your destination, wherever that might be. So get your Mima back on the phone, the one you were hollering and yelling and screaming and cussing. She gonna need to wire you some money, okay? Or go sell some EBT or something for some cash. But yeah, y'all ain't, I don't know what they want from Spirit, but that's not how this works. And they're like, we don't have no hotel. And they don't realize they are making it worse the more ridiculous that they act. This is a fundamental lack of home training, self-awareness. Like, there's no amount of jiggable jargon that these women are speaking is going to get them the outcome or the results that they want. But they don't have sense enough to know that. So they just gonna keep on talking, digging a hole for themselves. They're gonna land themselves in jail. That's what's gonna happen. Now I don't know. Let's see. We're halfway into this video, and I've not seen this yet. We are literally reacting to this body cam footage in real time. They're probably gonna end up arrested. That's what's gonna happen.
We're done here, right? We're done at the counter then. Come on over here and I'll talk with you. If you come over here, I'll talk to you and I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you what your options are.
I don't even want to talk to no airport.
No, they're making a police report.
No, I'm making one myself.
Well, okay, but this is the police, so they're writing the report. We are the real police.
Can I please have a...
We're the sheriff's office.
No, shut the talk to me.
I'm just letting...
So the sheriff's office is explaining to her, we are the police. We're the sheriff's office. And she said, shut the F up. Child, I would have hauled up just.
You know. Okay, do you want to know what's going on or do you want to walk off?
And then these COVID literally not helping because they just feel like they right now. How can they do that?
Yeah, well, you check the record.
I'm trying to explain what's going on, but you guys don't want to listen.
You trying to explain, but she told us to figure it out ourselves. What am I figuring? I don't need help if I gotta figure it out on my own. That's what y'all not understanding. She walked me up there to say, I'm gonna talk to you, and you gotta figure it out on your own.
Oh, so you expected them to help you? They're supposed to help you figure out your problems, and get you home. Ma'am, you had a way home. You forfeited that the moment you wanted to show your tail and act a fool over some shorts when normally they don't even give you, to my knowledge, an opportunity to remedy the situation. They're like, nah, you can't get on the plane like that. The fact that they were willing to hold up this plane and let the travel companion go back in the plane and get something out of the carry-on luggage so she can cover her behind up. Listen, don't nobody want all the juices and berries that's coming from your nether regions in the seat. No, nobody wants to see that, smell that, experience that. But the fact that we have to explain this, y'all were raised wrong. And I'm mad at your mama because it's obvious your mother has said nothing on the other end of this phone to make you rethink and be like, you know what? I probably should calm down. I should probably be quiet. I should probably be respectful. And maybe someone can help me figure out what I'm going to do. But it still hasn't registered in these girls' mind that all of this is their fault. They are the problem. Yes, they are the main characters of this story and this saga, and they are the main ones that could have gotten themselves out of this story and saga, but they're too stupid to realize it. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's imbecilic behavior. It is.
If I can't get a flight, I need to go home. Okay. If I'm not getting a flight booked, how is she helping me? Okay. But she just kicked me out the flight for absolutely no reason. That is why I want her name. Now, one thing about, okay, her shorts, whatever the case was, I brought her the pants. There was no reason for that lady to kick me out the flight. Of course I got mad after.
This is why she kicked you off, because you were doing this. You didn't just go in the plane and get the pants and give them to her. That ain't what you did. Because first of all, the pants, she still ain't got the pants on. She still got on the panties underneath the bathrobe. Like, this whole scene is crazy work to me. The fact that you are out like this, and the fact that you don't even realize that it was your behavior that escalated this to the next level. It didn't just happen in a vacuum and no reason. But this is a young lady that is not, she's never been held accountable for anything. So that's why she can blame, she's the victim. It is everybody else's fault. It's racism. All these Hispanics down here that are running the whole operation, this is racism.
Because that lady kicked me out with flight for no reason.
Okay, I'm not upset that you're mad, okay?
But obviously y'all are. Y'all mad about projected voices. Like, you're upset. Of course your voice will be projected. But because you're not mad, you're fine. Of course our voice going to be projected. Y'all not understanding it.
I'm trying to explain to you, but you don't let anybody talk. You just scream at everybody.
I don't want to. She just told me, figure it out on your own. If there's nothing, if she's not booking me a flight, what are y'all trying to explain to me? Right. I heard it that, okay, whatever the shorts. I heard it about the yelling. But not once do I see a damn law that say you can't yell.
So, I'm telling you right now, you have two options. You have two options. Option one is you calm down and find a flight with another airline.
No.
Option two is I kick you out of the airport.
Money for that. What money? Y'all want us to book a flight?
I'm sorry.
Y'all think we got time to
but I cannot leave you. I cannot leave you in the airport screaming.
For a trip that we didn't get the
I cannot leave you sitting here screaming at everybody.
Nobody's sitting here screaming at nobody. Y'all gonna have a reason to lock me the up.
This is your reason. Your behavior is the reason.
Yeah, it is.
It's coming. Here it comes. It's coming. She about to go to jail. Y'all, I'm sitting here like, I can logically chart all of the missteps and how we got here. They are digging a hole for themselves. Like, it's getting worse, not because someone's doing anything to them. It is literally their actions caused this, right? And because their actions caused this, and they don't like the fact that they're now being held accountable. Like, this is the consequence of your behavior. And yes, you are going to be responsible for figuring it out. You either go to another airline after you calm yourself down and go buy a flight, which you can't because you ain't got no money. or we're going to kick you out the airport. And now kicking out the airport is not just going to be, you're going to be on the outside of the airport to figure it out. You're going to be out the airport in the back of a squad car, and we're locking you up. Now you're going to have to either get bailed out, somebody going to have to come get you. Like, it's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse because, see, now they're about to, you thought they lost control here. By the way, I've not seen this before. I'm reacting to this in real time. Watch what happens.
Do you want a police report? Do you want a police report?
Not through y'all. Stop talking to me. Like, for real.
We're the only ones that do the police reports.
Not through y'all. My police. Can I have y'all boss, please? Because y'all literally not even helping y'all letting this lady do anything.
Listen.
We don't need y'all.
You are disrupting everybody here.
You guys gotta leave the airport. I'm giving you a trespass warning. You guys gotta leave.
So who is going? How am I getting home? I need to talk to your boss and everybody else's because y'all not helping us. And you telling me I gotta get out of the airport like I live here and there was somebody in up there.
What? Here's my question. Why do they believe who led these young people to believe that it is somebody else's responsibility to solve their problems? This is why socialism has been able to take such a foothold in this country. We have a K through 12 system that has taught an entire generation that it is somebody else's job to be responsible for them and to solve their problems and to help them figure it out. Like, they don't understand why Spirit wouldn't pay for them to get on another flight after all of this disruption that they've caused. She doesn't even understand how now her behavior is disturbing the peace. She doesn't see how just because you're upset, you do not get the right to act a fool like this, and then we're all just supposed to sit back and just let you get it out, right? You just let you get it out. So now this is a public disturbance. I mean, she's breaking all kinds of laws. On top of the fact that she ain't got no plane ticket home. She believes that because it's the emoting. How can you not expect me to act this way when I'm upset? Is this the timeout generation? Because the generation I come from, where the moment you raised your voice, you got popped in the face, like your whole lips just flew, like brrr, they was just gone. Like, you was talking, but the lips was over there, and you was over here trying to figure out what had happened. Is this the timeout generation? Is this the gentle parenting generation? Because I don't know nothing about this. All this yelling and stuff. Yeah. She just thinks because I feel it and I want to emote and I'm angry. Here's what I'm not saying. There are a myriad of circumstances where we may get upset and we don't like the outcomes, and it still doesn't give you the right to act this way. It just doesn't. First of all, what is it going to accomplish? So you yelling and letting everybody in the airport know that Spirit is racist and that they kicked you off the plane for no reason. And that you want a manager. You've failed to submit yourself to the authority that's already here. What good is the manager going to do? Like, do you think that the sob story and the crying and the cussing and the yelling to the manager's supposed to just be like, okay, well, you know what? I was waiting for you to call me. I was trying to figure out when you was going to call me so I could just come in and make all of this go away. Is that the expectation? I don't know, but I am trying to understand I know the root, the works of the flesh and the spirit and the sin and all of that. I do. But something has happened in this generation from a parenting perspective, from an educational and academic perspective, where these illogical leaps in argumentation make sense to them, but it don't make sense to nobody else. And somewhere along the line, this is Miami-Dade County, this is the sheriff's office. Why they've allowed this to go on this long is beyond me. There's no way that they should have allowed this to go on this long. They should have been kicked them out. This is if you don't stop Johnny, I'm going to count to 3, Johnny. 5, 4, like, Johnny done had too many chances. I'm telling Johnny one time. If there was one thing I learned, I took this parenting class when my kids were really small. It was a Christian base. It may have been Paul, David Tripp, one of them. And I will never forget, the first rule was the rule of compliance. I'm not bargaining and negotiating with Johnny. Now, I don't have a child named Johnny, but we just gonna talk about Johnny. I'm not negotiating with people who don't pay bills and who squat in my house and eat my food. I'm not negotiating with you. You have one time for me to say what I need to say before I snatch you up. And I know that may sound harsh, but the reason why we don't negotiate and compliance is expected on the first time, because what happens when we're out with Johnny in the street and Johnny's not paying attention and he runs into the street and a car is coming and I call Johnny's name the first time and Johnny doesn't comply and hearken to my voice, Johnny gonna end up dead. So what I learned in that parenting class is that you don't teach your children. We're not doing a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This ain't 3, 2, 1 contact. This is not some flight takeoff. You don't get a countdown. You get Johnny. I'm calling your name one time. And that first time Johnny don't come, Johnny gonna get snatched up. And then Johnny gonna learn, oh, that one time she had called me and I didn't come, I got snatched up. Johnny don't want to get snatched up again. It's called training in righteousness. You have to train children to comply on the first time. One, because it's for their good and it's for God's glory. We tell you one time, the expectation is for you to comply. If I got to tell you again, oh, yeah. Because what happens is if you train them to come, let's say you start at the countdown, you start at 5. You're training them that they got 4 more opportunities to disobey before they decide to comply. It's the same thing with these police officers. They've given these girls time and time again, we need you to calm down. You're yelling. If you be quiet, I'm not negotiating with you. I told you to shut up. That's what I said, right? If you don't shut up, this is what's going to happen to you next. You've been warned. What happens next is all on you. Govern yourself accordingly. When they choose not to govern themselves accordingly, that's when whatever the consequence is, clink, clink, this going to be you. You're going to be yelling in handcuffs. Now, we can't make you shut up once you're in handcuffs, but we can expeditiously escort you out of the airport and into the squad car. That's what we going to do. This is their fault because they did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Johnny countdown as opposed to saying, we're going to tell you one time. That's it. It's too much back and forth. Since when did law enforcement start doing gentle parenting? Is this what you call gentle criminality? I don't know. I done made that up. I've never heard that term before, but that's what I'm going to call it.
Let's go look at us. Stop talking to me. Exit. Take your stuff. And then when somebody end up dead because y'all like 2 females go out of Miami and don't know where the they going, y'all ass gonna be looking stupid. I'm calling the news reporters out.
Oh, she got called news.
So she gets to keep our money even though we didn't get on.
Fuck, how do I even get home? This shit don't even make sense. I'm not getting my money back.
I don't even have my luggage because y'all don't have
You don't sit on the street in Miami? So how am I lucky to be supposed to sit on the street in Miami?
Yes.
I didn't board the plane.
Your luggage was already on.
You ain't got to go home. Nobody's telling you got to go home, but you got to get out of here. That's what's going to happen. And this is a hard lesson. They're like, so y'all just going to put us out in Miami? Yes. This is what you chose the moment you decided to get dressed that morning and wear your panties to the airport And this is what you chose the moment they gave you, the friend, the opportunity to go get your girlfriend some pants, and you chose to act a fool and cuss and yeah and do all of this. Yeah, this is the result. This is it. They caused all of this. And it's a hard lesson. But Spirit Airlines, you know, you can't blame a company for having a business model where they want to offer a low-cost option to make travel available for people who otherwise this would be out their budget. They're from Chicago, they're in Miami. Like nephew said, they got flued out, or we don't know all the details. But it's unfortunate now, the reputational harm that Spirit experienced because of the caliber of clientele they would attract because of that low cost. I'd be interested in doing a deep dive into Spirit's business model to figure out if there was a way for them to offset the bad reputational harm and some of the other bad financial decisions that were made that led to their demise. Because I do believe there's a way to have a low-cost airline solution, but you're going to have to make up for it in other ways. Like, you can't tolerate foolishness like this, the code of conduct, I don't know. They may have transferred the cost. They may have saved money on the airline tickets, but security and having to retain the services of orangutan enforcement officers, like that probably, you know what I'm saying? It probably would have weighed itself out. I don't know. But let me let this finish.
The plane, it's...
And I'm not on the plane, but y'all just sitting out somewhere. And then y'all telling somebody they love y'all charging me for some... Oh my God, this is insane. Y'all charging me for some and I'm not even on the plane. No. Somebody get up there because y'all sorry ass police couldn't help. Y'all, that's what we looking for.
Whose car is up here?
Like, this is sad. I didn't know I'm going to take me to jail. I ain't got nowhere to go. You might as well take me to jail if I can't sit here because I ain't got nowhere to go. So, if I can't sit here, you might as well take me to your county gang because I ain't got nowhere to go. And my luggage on the flight to Chicago, but I'm not. Sitting right here, but I'm not. Making that sense.
I would tell it to you, but you don't want to stop yelling.
And you better get that camera off me before I throw this shoe at your...
They don't want the truth. Like, so the officer offered the opportunity to explain it to them, but listen, this type of attitude doesn't dwell in the light. They don't want the truth. Why? Because they can't handle the truth. Because if you actually sat down and told them the truth that all of this was their fault, all they're going to do is crash out some more. So now she's issuing terroristic threats. She's threatening to throw the phone at the cop, and I think he kind of wanted to do it because they've been wanting to tackle this one, the big back, the grimace. They've been wanting to tackle her down for a minute. I could tell because they like she been popping and being real froggy with her mouth. Yeah, we want to take this one down. It would be their pleasure.
Okay. So let me explain something to you. I just spoke to the supervisor in there, okay? They banned you guys completely from the airline. Okay? You got banned completely. You cannot fly with them. Not this airport, I said the airline. You can fly with someone else, like American Airlines, but not them. No, you're not gonna pay for it.
So it's not gonna...
Huh?
So it's like it's nothing they can do because the flight today is $500. No way.
My recommendations to you, okay, the most economical way of getting there is the Greyhound.
Like, this is ridiculous.
You go on a bus is more economic.
No, take me to jail, girl. I don't give a damn. I ain't got shit else to do. What the fuck? Y'all talking about calm down, my voice projected. I'm not yelling. I'm not doing nothing. And I'm gonna record because y'all not making no case on me about yelling, baby. You literally, there's free speech in the world. It is free speech. It's It's free speech. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you. I'm not being disorderly. I'm not being disorderly. Okay, if somebody it was about.
She struggles with basic definitions of disorderly conduct. She ain't yelling. According to her, I think the biggest issue here is when you get down to the brass tacks of it all, they're angry. I do not believe that they understand that it is their behavior that led them here, but the entitlement that accompanies their behavior is, well, why is Spirit not paying to put us on another flight? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is it? I'm confused. Right, Jason? I'm confused. Like, I don't understand. The expectation. Just riddle me this, Batman. If the airline has banned you, meaning you can't get on a flight with them ever, why would they pay to put you on a plane to get you home? The consequence of your behavior and you acting this way is that you've been banned. So it's do not pass go, do not collect $200. You don't know. You're banned. So you can book a flight with another airline. And they hear the cops saying this. But the reason why it's not penetrating is because they don't got no money. So it doesn't matter how many times the cop says, you can book with American or you can book with this, that, and the third. It doesn't matter. They don't have the money. So the next thing that the cop says is, look, now this is where their ears perk up. The most economical thing you can do is to get on the Greyhound. Like you could take a bus, and that's like a nice long ghetto ride, right? To give you the time to think about what you've done. Oh, it's a long, arduous trip. It ain't fun at all. Lord knows how many days it's going to take them to get to Chicago on the Greyhound from Miami. That's brutal. It's going to be hot and sticky and nasty. They ain't got no luggage. But to me, that would be a good punishment. That would be a good punishment. She needs to tell her mama and them or one of her aunties to cash app her or Apple pay her enough money to catch the Greyhound. Because my question is, what happened to the mama? Like, why she ain't called the mama back? But like, Mom, we ain't got no way to get home. Can you help me? Because if her mama's in a ratchet tank, this is what her mama gonna say. I ain't got no money to give you. What makes you think I got money to give you? You should have thought about that before you acted a fool. Like, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. So I'm hoping this should end in an arrest, but I don't know. I've not seen this. So let's see.
3 people just was in the car yelling out their car, and I ain't seen not one motherfucking police officer move. I ain't seen nobody move then. They was just hanging out their windows yelling, but I ain't seen not one person move. What you telling me about yelling? Y'all ass is racist and don't know. Like, y'all, this is some fucked up ass shit. It really is. This is really fucked up and sad. And as women, y'all are ridiculous. Don't touch her, please.
No, she's coming.
Wait,
Listen, it ain't like that.
I don't have to touch her.
Listen, we're trying to help you guys out.
But you don't want help.
Just get on my face. We finna go get kidnapped and I hope that when you get the call, okay? I'm gonna make sure you're stupid. What we got? Vera, what are you? And King out? You said you was gonna get out.
Oh, Lord, is that her bra? Oh, Father. Make it stop, Jesus. Make it stop. What is happening? What is happening? Why? It's just getting worse. Let's go.
I need their names. I need something.
Shirt down.
I want her name, badge number, and the one she working with. And all of them. Can we please get your name?
What they think is?
But you're not trying to do. Nobody's trying to give me a report. Y'all should have been gave us a report. Y'all at 2,000. She needs to give me the lady on the Spirit told me I had to get my refund from her.
Okay.
She said I have.
These idiots done went live on social media to document their foolishness. You can't make this up. They snapping pictures. What's your badge number? Like, what are you gonna sue them? When are you gonna sue them? You want to litigate this? Really? That's what we doing? So they've gone live, and now they're asking for badge numbers and stuff. This one, her shirt is up. They down bad.
Why are you grabbing me?
We're going.
What the hell? I'm talking to. Why this lady taking me to jail? She taking me to jail because.
Wait a minute, didn't you?
That's crazy.
And that's what she asked for. Did she not say, y'all might as well take me to jail because I ain't got nowhere to go? I mean, that is what she said. How are you shocked and don't understand? Oh, you confused again? Okay.
You just had because I dropped my thing, that's what it was. I was just talking to you. And now you taking me to jail. Girl, that's crazy. I was just talking to you. I'm having a conversation with you.
What's she going to jail for?
Being disorderly.
How's that disorderly?
You're at an airport, you're at a place of business, you're screaming at the top of your lungs for an hour. Okay, I would have arrested you 5 minutes. These other officers gave you an hour.
Okay. Get out my face. Can y'all give me her license?
Sit back down. Sit down.
I'm finna go.
Sit down.
I'm
you
not
don't leave
sir.
until we say you can leave.
Hey, I'm not under arrest. What do you mean I can't leave?
Right
No, I'm
now.
not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
no,
are.
I'm not. You just told me I'm being detained.
Right, that's right.
No.
Which means you're not going anywhere.
What am I being detained for? What I'm being detained for, sir?
If you behave,
I'm behaving.
you may not be arrested.
What do you mean, may not? I'm not under arrest and I'm not being detained. What is you talking about? Can y'all give me her luggage? Can you at least get her luggage for me?
We'll see. Wait a minute.
Like, this don't make no sense. Y'all locking us up because they kicked us off our flight.
Because of your
That don't
behavior. It has nothing to
What
do with
behavior?
the flight.
Okay, you just told me I'm being detained.
You're trying to say that you haven't been screaming
Yes, I
for
have,
an
because
hour.
I was kicked off
That's
my
unacceptable.
flight. No, it's not unacceptable.
It's acceptable to be angry. It's acceptable to be, to dispute
so what,
it.
we gotta
It's
use
acceptable.
inside voices outside.
It's not
no,
acceptable to stand inside a building and scream
We're not
at the top of
inside
your
the building.
Not now.
We're not inside
but
the
didn't
building.
you for 45 minutes?
It don't matter. That was 45 minutes.
You don't want to hear me.
Oh, so that's in the past. That's in the past. See, we was yelling and showing out and acting a fool 45 minutes ago. That's in the past. It don't count no more, right? Y'all, I don't know who's pair bonding with women like this and having children with them. I don't know who's raising them, but this has got to stop. This is insane. I'm with this officer. He was like, y'all should have been arrested 5 minutes into this ordeal. But these officers gave you too many chances. Isn't that what I just finished saying? I just finished saying the failure to comply came because they did the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. They should have been like, we're going to tell you one time. That's it. If you don't comply on the first time, then it escalates. I'm not going back and forth with you and all of this mouth. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I believe the officers are making their job infinitely more harder by allowing this whole charade to play out. When you give them a stage to perform, that is exactly what they will do. They shouldn't have been allowed to perform like this in front of the other guests. Spirit Airlines should have put their foot down and pulled those officers aside. Listen, we're running a business here. You already know we the ghetto airline of the skies. The last thing we need is this kind of attention right now. We need to get these people off and to their destination. Can you please contain this and remove them out of this breezeway so we can get on with our day? But Spirit didn't do that. Spirit didn't put their foot down, and the police officers didn't authoritatively ascertain this situation, apprehend them, and remove them sooner. They should have been removed them. Like I said, Spirit already knows this is reputationally harmful for them. So the moment it was determined that they're banned and they're not getting off the flight, they should have asked the police, please arrest them and remove them. We have to move them out so we can calm the situation down before the next orangutan show up and be mad that she can't get on the plane because she in her panties.
answers. You want to ask
Why am I
questions
being
that you don't want to
detained,
hear the
sir?
answers to.
You can't tell me why I'm being detained. That's
My
illegal as hell.
suggestion-
Why is I'm being detained, sir?
My suggestion is you
Why am I
calm
being
down or
detained?
you'll be in the back seat too.
I am calm.
Do you
I'm
want to
just
go to
asking
jail
you why-
also?
Why am I being detained, sir?
Lower your voice. I've
You're on
answered your
live.
question.
It's on live. It
I
ain't
answered
going
your
on.
question.
No,
You
did
don't
not.
like the answer.
You told me I was
Your
yelling.
behavior.
Ma'am,
Great
please calm down.
I
Okay,
am
listen.
calm. He can't even tell me why I'm being detained.
Your
He just told me I'm
behavior.
detained.
Listen, I don't want to take you to jail. Listen, I don't want to take you to jail, okay?
Yes,
Why
we
am I
do.
Just stay calm. Just stay calm.
I am calm. Can you just get him out my face? He telling me I'm detained and I'm sitting here.
Okay, listen.
What behavior?
Just stay calm, okay?
I am calm.
Stay calm. We're giving you an opportunity to leave on your own and take her back, okay?
Can y'all might as well take me to the police station because that's where I'm going.
See?
I'm not saying arrest me, but can I at least have a ride to the police station?
No, because I can't take you to the police. I could only take you to jail.
No, I ain't trying to go to jail.
And
But
then-
y'all literally arrested my sister for what? Because she's upset that y'all kicked us off the plane.
I'm trying to avoid getting you arrested.
I am. It's on live. It's already on live.
You hear me?
Yes, I am. Just give me her bag.
Okay.
I don't want to have any more dealings with
Okay,
y'all.
pick up your
I
stuff
don't
and
want to
have
have
a
any more dealings with y'all. 'Cause this is crazy.
to get a
He just
taxi.
told me I was detained and I'm not even doing it.
But I need you to leave. If
Literally.
not, you're gonna have to live with your sister. Here you
Y'all
go.
weird as hell out here. Y'all weird. And all this over a pair of shorts. Y'all weird.
Heading
I'm
to the
leaving.
airport.
I'm leaving.
Good luck.
She was charged with disorderly conduct and trespassing on property after warning. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Reporting live from Myers Club.
Child have mercy. Oh, y'all. I can't believe I reacted to that whole thing. Let me grab these super chats. That was too much. Riri Brooklyn says, grace and peace, April. Love your stories, y'all. I was in the back of that police car, but I wasn't acting like now. I was crying and hyperventilating, but it's because I didn't want to go to jail. But I wasn't trying to fight the police. I was scared out my mind because I honestly, and I'm referring Riri Brooklyn is referring to a story that I told earlier. It was more so, it was the fear of what my mama was going to do when she found out that I drove that car with no license. Her car got impounded. It was just the pile on of that. And so the crying and the coughing and the hyperventilating, and it all came from the police officer. He just kept telling me how stupid I was. He was like, "You just stupid. That was just stupid." And he just kept telling me, he was like, it was just, I don't know. It was tense. And I distinctly remembered him saying, "Is this what they teaching y'all over there at Spelman?" And I was just like, no. I can't go to jail. I can't go to jail. And he just kept telling me how I was going to go to jail, how my mama's car was going to be arrested. I mean, he lectured me for 35 minutes about poor choices and bad decisions. And what if I would have hit somebody in the lawsuit? And then my mama the worst case scenario you could think of, that officer had me thinking it. And I think he did that to help me understand the weight and gravity of what I had done. Something as simple as, oh, we're just going down the street and around the corner and we'll be right back. But I didn't have a driver's license and I just made an illegal U-turn on a major thoroughfare. It was safe. There were no cars coming, but that wasn't the point. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I did not see the sign where it said no U-turn. I was accustomed to people making U-turns on North Side, but you can only make a U-turn on North Side Drive at specific points. And I wasn't paying attention, and I just banged the U-turn, and it was clean too. And when it whoop, I saw them, I was like, I'm going to jail. I was like, oh gosh. I was like, it's over. It's over. And then I felt bad because I had my younger niece in the car. She's 3 years younger than me, so she's 17. I was 19 because she was 17 on her way to Clark, Atlanta in the fall. And she was just like, I ain't gonna be able to go to school because I'll be in jail. And I don't understand why you just didn't telling you have a license. And we both crying and snotting. Oh, it was It was an ordeal for sure. I can laugh about it now, but it wasn't nothing funny about that when it happened. Sister Amethyst says, anger is fear turned inside out. AA meeting. I'd be interested to explore that, because I know some people that they just angry all the time, and I guess I'd be trying to figure out what are they afraid of. Good gracious, that's interesting. I need to explore that. Crimson says, greetings to you, beautiful sister. People need to know the difference between real trauma triggers and just flat out bad behavior. Yeah. No, I really appreciated the comment from earlier, and hopefully I wasn't being offensive, but I really wanted to engage with it because I understood what he or she, I can't remember who said it. I understand what they were saying, and there is validity in that analysis that was given. But I think we put such an overemphasis on the trauma that we're not leaving room for what Crimson is saying, is that some of these people they were raised wrong. It's just bad behavior. This was a situation was, first of all, they were already broke and didn't have no money. They're down in Miami. The thought of having to buy a plane ticket, missing work, like all of that was compounding. And instead of her taking a step back and thinking through, okay, who can I call? Who can cash app us some money? Who can help get us out of this situation? She decided to emote all of those emotions and made it worse for herself, because now she got to get bailed out. When if they would have calmed down minutes ago, when the police officer was like, if you would let us explain your options, you could buy another plane ticket, which we know you can't do because you ain't got no money. Greyhound is an option. They may have been able to find a Greyhound ticket for maybe under $200. Now, where they were going to get that money from, I don't know. But they would have better call Saul or somebody. They had to call somebody. Call the mama. Have your mama send it. I don't know. But this is called adulting and having to figure it out when you play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. Brother Michael. Michael says, I realize now as an adult why my grandmothers gave me those corrective training events. Yeah, we call those corrective training events them butt whoopings. It was important. The book of Proverbs talks about that when we withhold correction from our children, it is one of the most apparent demonstrations of hatred. Because what happens is foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. I don't know where in Proverbs that is, but it's in there. But that rod of correction will drive it right on out of him. I said, that boy Solomon show is wise. If you think about it, Solomon is not advocating that, we abuse children. Correction and discipline, it is supposed to hurt, but it is not abusive. If the Lord chastens who he loves and he disciplines to correct us, what would make us think that we are not expected to do the same with children? Because what happens is they end up rotten like this, entitled, very dismissive, disrespectful toward authority, believing they are the center of the universe and that no matter what they do, their feelings are valid. Unable they have no emotional regulation, no self-control, no respect for authority. They don't submit themselves to authority. They're just wild banshees. This is why I call them the orangutan. The orangutan is the female imbecile who cannot manage their misery. And so they show out. So, Sister Amethyst asks, April, ask Jason for his you going to jail clip. Oh, there's a you going to jail clip? Okay, I will ask him for that because I need to add that to my soundboard. You going to jail. That would have been a good one. But it's too late now. We finished reacting to it. Oh, I just played that already. Sorry. Sister Amethyst says, we don't negotiate with toddlers or terrorists, often one in the same. Facts. You don't. You cannot. Listen, children, there is a false doctrine out here as if children are born into the world innocent. The Bible doesn't teach that, because then that would have to remove them from having original sin and being born in sin and shaped into iniquity like the rest of mankind. All of us fall under the sin of Adam. Adam is our federal head. So that means, yes, your baby is a viper in a diaper. We don't have to teach a baby to be selfish and sinful. They immediately, their needs are always on the forefront, and they will cry to demand what they want. Now, as parents, it's our job to nurture them, to meet their needs, but to also understand and train them in righteousness. I am not going to be a prisoner in my own home, bowing the knee to the whims of everything that a toddler or a preschooler or preteen wants. You crazy. That's not going to happen. And so, very early on, you can't wait till a kid is 5 to start disciplining them and providing corrective discipline. You got to do it early and often and train them compliance on the first time. I'm saying it once. You do not want to see me if I have to say it twice. Because if I have to say it twice, that no, we're not doing that. You love them. I love my children. But I ain't going back and forth with you. Because then they end up like this. They end up young adults that think that they can go back and forth with the police, that think that they can go back and forth with, Lord forbid, if somebody marries them. Can you imagine? Oh, no, I can't. I can't imagine. Anyway, all right, I've been on here since 6 o'clock. That is a very long time. That is a long live stream. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and sticking around so long. What I'm thinking about tomorrow is reacting to Ben Shapiro's satirical treatment of Candace Owens' accusations. He is flipping the script and turning it on her. I did have one other clip, though, that I wanted to react to before I let you guys go. I'm always finding interesting things on X, and this is completely unrelated from law and crime, but it is a I found this clip of this gentleman. You know how we're always finding individuals. I don't know where we got this from. On this channel, you guys, I talk a lot about ethnic narcissism. And it's basically where a person believes, based on their ethnicity, that it's the most important thing about them. And they view the world from that lens. And they have this elevated sense of importance, not based on anything they've personally accomplished, not based on anything that's inherent in them. It's not even based on any facts or reality or observable reality. It's just because I am Black. I have this elevated sense of importance, and I'll tend to import things that I can't prove to be true, but I will assign them to myself and my race because it makes me feel good about myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to react to this clip that I found. Then I'm going to let y'all go. It's short, but it is funny.
I'm assuming, Donna, you were replying to someone else when they said we were kings and queens. We have the right, as Black people, to call ourselves kings and queens. We do stem from royalty. We do come from regal culture. Okay? You, on the other hand, I'm assuming you white, come from caveman, Neanderthal bloodlines, which is nowhere connected to royalty, to majestic culture. Not at all, sweetie. Not at all. So we will continue to have the right, and we will say that we are kings and queens because we come from royalty. Okay? Bloodlines. Yours is Neanderthal. I'm quite sure of that.
Okay. Y'all, I hate to laugh at the ignorance, but all right. The first thing I'm gonna say, I've heard this said a lot. We was kings and queens. And I am curious to know, where did that come from? Like, who told us that? Now, I know y'all remember when you were small and you may have had like either that cousin or friend of the family that had the baby that just wasn't that cute. But everybody, to kind of to make them feel better about themselves, they would just lie and say, "Oh, your baby is so pretty." Like, where is it the same thing that somebody just, because of this inferiority complex that so many of us walk around with, that somebody one day just decided to say, you know what, we just gonna tell them that they was kings and queens, and we're just gonna keep saying it till they believe it. So he says that apparently Donna was facetiously making a statement talking about we, i.e., black folks, was kings and queens, and he's clapping back saying that we were kings and queens. And I'm asking questions legitimately. On what basis is this man or anyone else who parrots this talking point, on what basis are you making this assertion? Now, I've joked in the past that if we was all kings and queens, who were the subjects? Like, how many kingdoms can you really have legitimately? All of us were kings and queens. Okay, where is my kingdom? And what happened to it? Like, did I get conquered? Okay, because that's the only way you can no longer have a kingdom, is that you got conquered. Because if the argument is, oh, well, they just went out of extinction, but then you ain't kings and queens. You couldn't have been, because there would be no lineage after the last one died out. It ended with them. So it can't be due to some sort of evolutionary principle of extinction. The only way you could say you were kings and queens is somebody had to have conquered you. But before we even get into the weeds of all of that, where are you getting this concept from that we were all kings and queens? Because if that is true, who were we ruling over? Where are the subjects? Because all of us can't be a king. Because a king has a kingdom. And then the king has a queen. Right? So she's married to the king, and then they rule the kingdom, and then there are the subjects. So if we was all kings and queens, who 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 were the subjects? I'm just trying to figure it out. And then he makes this disparaging, I mean, I don't know if he really wanted to go there, but since he went there, I'm going to go. He made this really disparaging comment by assuming that Donna must be white and that her lineage is Neanderthal. But I'm like, okay, but if you was a king and a queen, let's just go with it. Where was your civilized society and nation that was just so developed and advanced that it just ceased to exist? Like, who came along and took your kingdom from you? And if they took your kingdom from you, saying that you were a king or a queen is actually not a flex. It's not the flex that you think it is. Because you don't have a kingdom today. You where's your crown? Where's your throne? What edicts? What edict have you issued lately? Your monarchy is deficient. And it couldn't have been that brave or strong because it's not around. Like, how long we talking? Like, how long ago was this where you was a king? I'm trying to understand, because it would be verifiable, right? Like, do we do a DNA test, right? I'm not saying that there are not Black Americans somehow in this country today who do not have, by way of DNA, lineage to some sort of African king or kingdom. But where are they now, and why are they not sending no boats to come get some of y'all? Like, the king's been captured. Someone has captured the king, and yet nobody from the king's court, from the king's military, has sent a raft to say they done took our king and we want him back. Like, when is that going to happen? Because last time I checked, you were born here. So you can't be talking about you were kings and queens. Perhaps you're talking about your ancestry. So fine. Let's deal with that. If in your ancestry you were kings and queens, what happened? I mean, in order for your ancestors to no longer be kings and queens, somebody came and conquered them. And it happens. I get it. It happens. But saying this as if it is a flex, it's not the flex that you think it is. If they were able to conquer you and then capture all of your people and sell them into slavery to the Arabs, I mean, I think to reduce this down, here's what I think this is all about. Black Americans today, many of them, not all of us, because those of us who are in Christ, we know exactly where our identity is hidden in. It is hidden in Christ, and we don't even have time to entertain this foolishness because this is goofy. This is so goofy to be like, my people was kings and queens. Oh, they had like spears and stuff and a crown, right? Those of us in Christ, we don't care about stuff like this because, one, we boast in the Lord. And we recognize that we bring nothing of value that made us savable, right? Other than this filthy, wretched sin of ours. But I believe the reason why pagans, because pagans talk like this, they have to find something to glory in, and they tend to glory in their flesh because it really comes from a place of inferiority. They really have to, you know how some people say you got to preach the gospel to yourself. They have to preach these lies to themselves to make them feel good about themselves because at some level they do feel inadequate and they do feel inferior. And therefore, they have to castigate the other group and say, well, you guys were Neanderthals. And they somehow believe that if they can levy an accusation that y'all were Neanderthals, but we was kings and queens, that somehow makes you better than them. The problem here is you have no proof of this unless you can prove by way of DNA ancestry that your people was a king and a queen. And even if it is true, what bearing does that have on your life today? Because you probably work for FedEx. And ain't nothing wrong with working for FedEx. But last time I checked, right, the lineage of a king working for FedEx, that's a downgrade. Typically, there'd be a kingdom and all of this wealth, and you would be living from the spoils and the toils and the riches of the kingdom, and you'll be living the life of a king because you're royalty, remember? But here is the reality. The reality is you probably can't prove that your people was a king or a queen. And it's irrelevant. It doesn't even matter today. You know why? Because if that's true, you are a disgrace to your ancestors who may have been kings and queens. Because here you are on the internet talking to Donna, calling Donna a Neanderthal, and talking about how you was a king or queen, and you sitting in your car. Not on the throne. There's no golden rod or scepter in your hand. No one is subject to you or your authority other than your kids. That's it. So what's the point of going on these mindless rants and trying to one up another ethnicity other than the fact that you have to say and parrot these talking points because you believe that you are inferior? You have an inferior mindset. You don't have an identity, and so you're searching for one. You grabbing at anything that'll stick. So you say and you lie to yourself that you was a king and a queen, and you can't explain what happened to the kingdom and how you're so far removed from it today, but it made you feel good in the moment to say it. It made you feel good to put down. Look, Donna probably don't know where her people come from either, and she probably doesn't care. Like, she's not looking for something to search for identity. And I wish we had more Black people who, if they understood what the gospel accomplishes, hear me when I say this. The reason why the gospel of Jesus Christ is so powerful. First, scripture tells us it's the power of the gospel unto salvation to everyone who believes, right? Why is that important? Because in the Christian faith, Christianity is the only religion that is void of human achievement. Like, you can't boast in anything, not your good works, not your family lineage, not in your educational pursuits or achievements, not your good looks or lack thereof. There's nothing that you can boast in and say, I am worthy of eternal life because I've done this and I've done that, and I'm from the tribe of this and the kingdom of that. You can't do that. We all come bare and broken and naked and equally sinful, in need of a savior, hopeless. When I say hopeless, I'm talking beyond hope. Even on your best day, if all you ever did in your whole life was steal a pack of gum, you would still be worthy of God's eternal damnation and his wrath because you violated his law. So what does the gospel do? The gospel of Christ in the Christian faith, unlike other world religions that say you must do this and keep this day and wear this thing and say this prayer this many times a day and be a good person and strive and strive and strive and work and work and work. Christianity says it is not what you do, but it's based on what Christ has done. Because he's the only one worthy and perfect and live the sinless life that you can't live on your best day to satisfy the sin debt that you owe. It is what Christ has done that even allows you to be able to lay claim to this glorious gospel and the grace that's afforded to you. It's by grace that we are saved, not of works, not of anything of ourselves. Lest you can boast. Because if you say it's because I'm from the kingdom of this, and my people were that, and I've accomplished this, and I'm so great and wonderful, and all of those things, then that leaves room for you to boast. The gospel of Christ and the Christian faith leaves nothing for you to boast in. You come so broken and hopeless and in need of something to rescue you from your sin. And it's only Christ alone who can do that. He accomplished that with his death and his burial and his resurrection. And so all of this foolishness about we was kings and queens, it has no eternal value. You still a broken, filthy, wretched sinner in the face of a righteous and a holy God. And it will merit you nothing as it relates to where you'll spend eternity. And people who think like this, whether it's what I would call the black supremacists or the white supremacists, suffer from the same problem. They think there's something in their flesh to glory and boast in, and there's nothing that they can boast in. We boast in the Lord. Our identity is hidden in Christ alone. And even if you found out by some DNA test that you came from the mighty tribe of the Ashanti, and your great grandpappy sat on somebody's throne, guess what? He ain't sitting there no more. Okay, the kingdom is gone. You can't lay claim to it. At minimum, can you at least go back to them and ask them for some reparations so you can stop begging America for it? If you're going to bring it up for that purpose and that purpose only. If the kingdom got dispersed and conquered and some other tribe, find out who conquered your great grandpappy, So we can go get some reparations from them because we tired of y'all begging and asking for it. At least I know I am. But conversations like this don't lead anywhere. It's just an opportunity for the ethnic narcissism, that sin of pride, that sin of, oh, I'm better than you because we was kings and queens, when it's like, it's not the flex that you think it is because you ain't got no crown. You can't even manage to keep the homeowners association or the community watch group on your block together. So what are you managing? No one's listening to you. Take Quayshawn and them still come on your block and steal all the kids that's parked on your street just because. So if you was a king and a queen, whatever you're ruling over has now run amok. And the authority that you think you have or claim that you have, you're not wielding it like a king. Because last time I checked, when the king speaks, everybody is subject to the king and they do what the king says. And you can't even get your baby mama to do right. So cut it out. Stop it. We was kings and queens argument, it needs to die. Because what I'm not saying is that some of us do not come from African tribes where they had some sort of monarchy and kingdom-like system. But first of all, Wakanda is a make-believe place. It's not real. I know you want it to be real so bad, but it's not. Quit watching the superhero movies and let's just deal in reality. We're here now. You're in America. So for whatever reason, people need to make themselves feel better by making this assertion of being a king or a queen and being royalty. Yet, I don't see how that's adding value to their life today. I don't know. I mean, if you find some value in that, yay. Okay, celebrate that. But I am telling you, when I look at the state and the condition of the Black community today, and when I see that their greatest need is repentance and faith in Christ and the need of a savior, you hollering on the internet about you being a king and a queen, I don't see how it's gonna get us any closer to improved outcomes at all. It's just more pride, more arrogance, right? And God hates pride. Right? It's the arrogance for me. If you knew and understood who you were in the face of a righteous and holy God, you'd be way more humble and you'd just be grateful that however the king and the kingdom got conquered, you found your way over here. I guarantee you'd rather be over here in America than in some far remote tribe in Africa somewhere worshiping a tree and praying to the ancestors who cannot hear you, who cannot answer your prayers, and who cannot grant you eternal life. Yeah, I said it. I said that. Yeah. The ancestors are dead. They're not speaking to you and guiding you and leading you nowhere. You talking to demons. So unless you repent, that's going to send you to hell too. So on that note, dear ones, I thought that little 57-second clip was quite hilarious. We was kings and queens. I've been wanting to address that for a while. It's just ethnic narcissism. It's the idea that I got to make myself feel better because I believe that I'm inferior. And I believe the white man is so powerful and so strong that I believe he's supreme over me. So I got to come up with a narrative that trumps his alleged white supremacy. So now I come up with my Black inferiority way of saying, well, I do you one better. I was a king. You a whole grown man out here talking about you was a king. And you sitting in your car. Bruh, cut it out. Just stop it. Anyway. Whoo, Father, that was funny. Anyway, let me ride out. Today is Sunday. Lord willing, tomorrow will be Monday. And I think I may pre-record. I don't know if I want to pre-record the Ben Shapiro video or if I'm going to do it live. So we will see. We will see how the week goes. But anyway, I love you guys with the love of the Lord. Before I let you go, one quick announcement. As you guys know, my film, Slavery is a Choice. We are working on it. And it is my current pride and joy. It does take up a lot of my time, but by God's grace, we're scheduled, like I already told you, we have one more shoot in Memphis, one more shoot in Lynchburg. But the bulk of it has been already recorded. I want to thank so many of you who've believed in this project and have donated to support the work that me and Vince Everett Ellison are doing. It is, I believe, going to be a life-changing film in that we're removing all of the excuses. Okay, this is not a film talking about we was kings and queens. Okay, it's not that. But it is going to answer so many of the questions as to why are so many Black Americans today stuck and living below their potential. It's because they are still living in the past and they've not reconciled. Like, we talk a lot about slavery all the time. It's slavery. We're constantly bringing the sin of slavery to the forefront of everybody's mind. But I don't believe that the conversation surrounding slavery, I don't believe it is being honest and properly contextualized. And that is what this film is going to seek to do. And I know the title is inflammatory, and I know it makes some people feel so uncomfortable. Even people that love and support the work that Vince and I are doing are incredibly uncomfortable with its title because of the implications of what it's saying. But that was the point. We want you to wrestle with it being uncomfortable. We want you to feel uneasy and like, ooh, like, really? Like, y'all just gonna say that? Yeah. Lean into those feelings. Bring them all. Bring all those feelings. Bring all those emotions. Bring that tension. Bring that I'm 2 seconds from unsubscribing. Bring all of that. We want you to bring that. Bring those emotions to the film and take it all in. We want you to have some cognitive dissonance. We want you to wrestle. We want all of that. I am praying that is the effect that the film has on you while you're watching it, and then at the end, you're able to release it all at the foot of the cross and say, you know what? I am glad they took me on this journey. That's what I'm hoping happens at the end when you finish watching this film. So we're working on it. It's going to be available via, you'll be able to stream it, but you have an opportunity to support the work in helping us complete that project. Now you can scan that QR code. And when you scan the QR code, it'll take you straight to our crowdfunding campaign on GiveButter. It is the most secure, user-friendly platform. It's super easy to donate and give and support. We are about 65% to our goal. And by God's grace, we've managed to accomplish that. So I'm so thankful for that. And I just wanted to send one friendly reminder to let you guys know that if you still have not had a chance to support and you'd like to support, you can do that. Or if you've already supported and you like, here's just a little something, little $5 on it, we'll accept that too. We're grateful for all the contributions, and we would not have been able to do this without you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to skedaddle and get on up out of here because I'm hungry and I need to eat. So I love you guys with the love of the Lord. And until next time, you guys, stand firm, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and peace. I'm April Chapman.
And I'm Vince Everett Ellison. There's a victim narrative here in the United States of America that says you have no control over your lives, no control over your agency. And they're basically saying that you're an animal, that you're a slave. I don't believe that. I don't think it's ever been the case. As an heir of Jesus Christ, as a child of God, I cannot be oppressed. I cannot be a victim. I do not think I am, nor do I think that any American ever has been, or any person. Even when it comes to slavery, I believe, and I think they hold true, that slavery was a choice. You know how I know? Because people are choosing to be slaves now. So I'm making a documentary to debunk the myth that any human being or any American is held under bondage without their permission. even if they have to kill or give their lives to be free. Freedom is a choice, and slavery is a choice also.
We're asking you to partner with us. We are here. We have begun filming Slavery is a Choice, and it's an incredible documentary that outlines Vince's argument to prove to the world that slavery is absolutely a choice. I've partnered with him in the executive producer position, and we are appealing to our audience, you guys, those who watch us faithfully every single week, to help us bring this film to market. We've begun a crowdfunding campaign, and we're going to link the opportunity in the description below for you to partner with us and give any amount to help us bring this project to market. Slavery is absolutely a choice, and we know that slavery is a choice because we're choosing it today with many of the decisions that we continue to make to our own detriment. So we're hoping that you guys will partner with us, and we want to bring this film to market in summer of 2026. So click the link down below, and I'm April Chapman.
And I'm Mr. Everett Ellison. Freedom is a choice, but in order to be free, you must be brave. In order to not be a slave, you must believe in Jesus Christ. So believe in freedom, believe in courage, be courageous, assist us in this project, and let's set and make other people free by being true blue Americans, true blue patriots, true blue Christians, believing in ourselves and believing in the future ahead. Thank you.